What's going on, Nabooers? It's been a very snowy last couple days, and I know that Southern Ontario got hit pretty hard as well. So for everyone who's staying safe, that's good to hear. We got quite a bit. I had to get the snowblower out on the deck even just to make it to the end over there. But it's crazy to imagine that we got as much snow in the last 2 days than we did pretty much the whole winter. And I kind of have a problem sitting still, especially with my brain needs to be working. So I dove into Cloud CPM the other day, and I was wondering, hey, like, can I make this thing even more optimized, even smaller and faster? And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've been using a benchmark for performance on the NABU BASIC. Let's just load NABU BASIC up from my playground. Now I have two versions of BASIC in here, well technically three, but two that we're going to care about. The first one is under the Education channel and Computer Languages 3, we have NABU BASIC. So let's do a performance test with NABU BASIC. And I've been doing a very basic, pardon the pun, test, which is pretty much just looping and counting a value of just x, incrementing. So we'll just say x equals x plus 1. Now, really what we're testing here are two things. We're testing the speed of updating the screen as well as the processing. Now, the processing really isn't going to matter as much because we're expecting that NABU BASIC is already built on MBASIC. We'll run MBASIC in a second as well. We just want to get a benchmark from NABU BASIC. Really what's going to happen and affect the performance between the three different tests is going to be the screen update. Now the screen update and how the BIOS is displaying and formatting the screen, scrolling the screen, refreshing the screen, all that kind of stuff, that's going to play a significant role in how fast our benchmark results are. So let's do 10-second tests. So here I have the old Google stopwatch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push start. When this gets to 2, then I'm going to hit enter on run. And when it gets to 12, I'm going to stop this, but this will keep going because we care about stopping this as quick as we can at 12 seconds. So I'm going to hit start, 1, 2, and now I got my hand here on Control C. So as soon as we reach 12 seconds on here, I'm going to Control C it. And I know this isn't like the most optimal test in the world, but let's get some benchmarks here. So we're at 189 for 10 seconds with the NABU BASIC. And just wrote that down. Back in the main menu, we're going to exit this and go into DJ's Playground. And we have MS BASIC 5.21. This is the same version of BASIC that you'll find in Cloud CPM on the cloud drive. So really what we're doing here is we're going to run the exact same binary that would be run in Cloud CPM, but the difference here is that we're running it under the BIOS of the NABU. So this is the NABU's 1980, whatever it would be, 1981, 1982 BIOS, whenever they last updated it. So we'll do the same program here. I'm going to clear our stopwatch. We'll do the same thing. So I'm going to hit start. On 2 seconds, I can hit enter. And then I'm going to put my fingers on Control C. And when we hit 12 seconds, I'm going to Control C and stop the execution. Given that I'm using the old finger and talking and filming at the same time, I mean, I could assume that these are very similar, 189 to 173. I mean, it doesn't take much for there to be a significant margin of error, we'll say. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the latest Cloud CPM BIOS, which is 6.8. As we load this bad boy up. So there's been a lot of changes to what I had to do to make it as fast as it is going to be, as you're going to see. One other thing too is a screen refresh is significantly quicker. For example, let's just look at a file, my good old diskdef.lib. So look how quickly it scrolls this file. It's it's amazing, actually. So let's go into user area 2, and we're going to run MBASIC, which you're going to see is the same version of BASIC that we were just running on the NABU BIOS. So we're going to compare the Cloud CPM BIOS input-output to the NABU BIOS. We'll get our stopwatch reset. Okay, again, so I'm going to hit start. 2 seconds, I'll hit enter. And then I'll get my hand on Control C, because at 12 seconds we're going to stop it. So oh my God. So that's 352 for Cloud CPM BIOS. So needless to say, I'm pretty excited that my optimizations have worked out to be double of what the other BIOSes are doing. So I think that is super, super cool. I do want to add something as well. I want to give Louis some credit for coming up with a really great idea. Now, I had mentioned before that I was trying to shrink the BIOS size down considerably, and he made a comment in YouTube saying, hey bro, why don't you just use 7 bits of the font rather than providing the 8th bit? And I thought, hey, that's a good idea. I should do that one day. Well, let's take a look at how much file size we actually save. 679 divided by 7 bytes, 97. Yeah, so we have 97 characters in here. So that means we actually end up saving, there's 97 of these rows, we end up saving 97 bytes. So with the new BIOS, we've saved about 300 kilobytes, or 300 bytes, sorry. 300 kilobytes, yeah, that's more than the whole machine has. We saved about 300 bytes. So that's a pretty good savings, actually. And that frees it up for more applications. Particularly, Cloud GUI's undergone a number of performance enhancements as well. So we're at version 1.2. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.